Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rahil. Years ago, yeah, when I was in Chelmsford Prison, I was in Chelmsford Prison with John Duddy, also Tony Lawrence, and also Frankie Fraser. John Duddy didn't get on with Frankie Fraser at all. I mean, when Frank walking on the landing and John Duddy was walking on the landing, one of them would get out of the way. You know what I mean? None of them. I don't think John Duddy would have had a fight with Frank, and I don't think Frank would have had a fight with John Duddy. Not toe to toe. Nastily, yes. Tony Lawrence hated Frankie Fraser. He hated Frankie Fraser, and Tony Lawrence, believe it or not, he was very close to John Dudley. They was always sitting down in Tony Lawrence's cell, having a tea, having a chat. And when I was to go in there and borrow Tony's weights, he'd give them to me in the end, but borrow Tony's weights to go in the toilet and have a workout with, right? John Dudley was always in there with him. John Dudley, nice guy, mate. John Dudley, shame, he died in prison. Shame he didn't die outside. You know, it's a shame, mate, to die in prison, yeah. John Dudley's a nice guy. He had two beautiful daughters, so could visit him every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And it's a shame, you know, all the big sentence that he got. I know that he shot police officers and all this, that and the other, but he done a big bit of perjury. And he was telling me, John, when I was sitting in there with Tony Lawrence, and he was telling me, John, that he remembers being with Harry Roberts and the Frasers and Fraser and the Krays, yeah, on a circuit, yeah. And he says that Harry Roberts wanted to bash up the Krays. He wanted Roger and Reggie. He wanted them bad. Yeah, he said he told them to get into a cell. He wanted to smash them to pieces. And he was telling me, John Dudley, that Harry Roberts could have a right fight. He said he would have smashed them Krays to pieces. And not only would he have smashed them, he's dirty. He's a bit of a wicked guy. And all he said he'd have done him with something, mate. He'd have stabbed him up with something. He could have a right fight, Harry Roberts. And he was telling me about John Dudley was telling me about Frankie Fraser. He said Frankie Fraser was going to get it in I think it was Durham or one of them nicks. Frankie Fraser was going to get it big time, yeah. Frankie said was a right flash little man, yeah. He said the only time that Frankie Fraser was anybody was when he was 5-6 handed and they was putting someone down on the floor and Frank would cut them to pieces or pull the teeth out. As a torturer, Frankie Fraser was the worst one that you could ever have. He had no feelings for anybody. He would just cut you to pieces. But Harry Roberts did say that he would smash Frankie Fraser and the Krays to pieces, yeah. He said to me, Harry Roberts said, when Billy Hill had the clubs, Frankie Fraser was wrapped around him doing hurting people, yeah. He said, but as soon as the Krays got involved in the clubs with Billy Hill and took over the clubs, he said Fraser slipped into the Krays as well. He said, not only did he slip him in the Krays, he slipped him to the Richardsons, but he was with the Richardsons before he was with the Krays. So he said, and when I talked to Tony Lawrence, that's why Tony Lawrence was pissed off with Frank, because Frank was neither with the Richardsons or Frasers, or the Krays. But Tony did say that he was more loyal to the Krays, to the Richardsons, than he was the Krays. He said, but Tony Lawrence said, I was really pissed off when Frank had come back from being with the Krays and start grassing the Krays up to the Richardsons. Would he doing the same thing instead of fucking to the Richardsons to the Krays? Yeah. So that's why Frankie Fraser and Tony Lawrence had bad loggerheads. I'm on about bad loggerheads. I mean, to ask me to watch the toilet when he was having a shower, Tony, and Frank also to watch for Tony, it was crazy. Do you know what I mean? Them two was like that. But John Dudley was not frightened of Frank at all, mate. John Dudley, I fancy wanted Frank bad, you know what I mean? But he was very quiet, John Dudley. He was one of them guys that he'd had enough, you know what I mean? It's a terrible shame he died in prison. He one of them guys, he just had enough, he just wanted to go home. He had two lovely daughters, visiting regular. And to die in prison, mate, it's a shame, you know what I mean? Just like that plenty of bird that he done. You know, I know they shot police officers, people are going to say, yeah, but they shot police officers and all this, that, but enough's enough, you know what I mean? Enough birds, yeah? But Harry Roberts, I believe he's out now on the street, and he must. I'd love to get hold of him, mate. He must have stories, but he was one fighter, mate. It was going to a really, really bad fight, and to hear that he could bash them Krays up and Frank together. Imagine bashing three up like that. You know what I mean? But I don't think he could do the three of them like that. Maybe get one at a time, but I don't think he could do the. I don't think he'd be able to do the Krays together, mate. I don't think so, because they were both good boxers as well, and they were not nasty fighters as well. Yeah, the Krays. But that's what John Daly said. John Daly said that Harry asked them to go in a cell and have a row, and they shit themselves. But whether or not it's true, I don't know. People in the comments will more likely tell me that know more than I know. Yeah, but I'm just telling you what John Daly told me. You know what I mean? And what Tony Lawrence. Tony Lawrence. When I met Tony Lawrence outside, he had not one good word to say about Frank. Not one good word, mate. And he said, Ray. He said, if I ever get hold of Frankie Frazer, he said, I'll tie him up. He said, I'll tie him up to the nearest tree and smash him to pieces. He said, I hate the guy. He's not two-faced. How can he go with two firms? How can he do that? Go with the Krays and then come back to us and rise the Krays up like he did, yeah? Anyway, this is Bang Bang Rail. Please press the like button and subscribe. Just give me a comment on it, yeah? Bye-bye.